Turn to M3 and Karen B for this week's episode of Comply on the Fly. You'll get quick and timely answers to the most common employee benefits compliance questions so you and your business can keep moving ahead. Please note this podcast and the contents herein do not constitute legal advice. Please seek the advice of counsel for any benefit compliance-related implementation, guidance, or strategy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Karen B, and the Comply on the Fly question of the week is, what are the PCORI fees for 2022 and when are they due? Well, it is that time of year again, so let's quickly review what PCORI fees are and if they apply to you, and then, of course, identify the 2022 information on PCORI fees. First, PCORI, or PCORI, stands for Patient-Centered Outcomes Research Institute. And the fee that we are talking about is assessed on healthcare benefits to fund the institute, which is an independent nonprofit organization created by the ACA to conduct research for patients and caregivers on enhancing health outcomes. It is important to note here that the fee originally was only applicable for 7 policy years between 2012 and 2019. However, in 2019, both houses of Congress passed and President Trump signed a bill which included changes to the Affordable Care Act fees and taxes. Included in this bill was an extension of the PCORI fee for the 2020 through 2029 fiscal years. So secondly, what plans do these fees apply to? Generally speaking, the fees apply to fully insured and self-funded healthcare benefits. So think your major medical plan. The fees do not apply to what we call accepted benefits, which is generally things like workers' compensation or standalone dental and vision plans. And of course, most medical FSA or flexible spending accounts. It is important to mention HRAs, or health reimbursement arrangements, because they are technically self-funded plans. So the deciding factor on if you have to pay PCORI fees on an HRA is whether or not your HRA is integrated with a fully insured health plan or a self-funded health plan. So who pays the fees? If you have a fully insured medical plan, the carrier or issuer pays for the fee on your behalf. If you sponsor a self-funded medical plan, you are required to pay the fee. Your TPA may assist you with counts, but will not pay the fee on your behalf. It is important to note here again the difference between HRAs. If your HRA or health reimbursement arrangement is integrated with a fully insured medical plan, you must pay the fee for the HRA. If you have an HRA integrated with a self-funded plan, you do not pay additional PCORI fees on that HRA. If you sponsor a standalone retiree-only HRA, you will need to pay the PCORI fee for that retiree HRA. So what is the fee? Basically, it is a set dollar amount per covered life on the plan. How do you determine covered lives? Well, you have a choice of one of 4 methods, and we'll just briefly mention them here. You have the actual count method, so you count the covered lives on each day of the plan year and divide by the number of days of the plan year. You have a snapshot, which you choose one day per each quarter and then divide the number of covered lives on that day by 4. The snapshot factor method, which accounts for those with self-only coverage and those with family coverage multiplied by 2.35, or the 5500 method, in which you take the beginning counts at the beginning of the year and the ending counts at the end of the year and add them together. Once those covered lives are determined, you would take the applicable fee amount and multiply it by the number of covered lives. That information is included on IRS Form 720. Your particular fee amount is determined by your health plan year, which should be identified in your SPD or summary plan description. This year, plan years that begin February 1st, 2020 through October 1st, 2020 pay $2.66 per covered life. In plan years of November 1 or December 1 of 2020 and a plan year of January 1, 2021, pay an increased fee of $2.79 per covered live. The form and payment are due July 31st, 2022, and may be filed electronically. Third-party reporting and payment of the fees is not allowed. Please check out our ACA guide for more information on the PCORI fee. And that is your Comply on the Fly question of the week. Thanks for tuning in.
What's on your mind? If you have a pressing compliance question, send it to askherein@m3ins.com. We'll do our best to cover it in an upcoming episode. You can now follow and subscribe to Comply on the Fly on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Make sure to tune in next week and encourage others to join us.